7 men have been jailed for a total of more than 150 years following a fatal shooting in Erith. The group was sentenced for the murder of Kai McGinley after detectives were able to piece together complicated CCTV evidence and place a number of them near the location of the offence. An investigation was launched after police were called at about 20:50 hours on Thursday, 9 February 2023, to reports of shots fired in Pembroke Road, Erith. Officers and London Ambulance Service paramedics attended and found 24-year-old Kai shot in the chest. Despite the best efforts of the emergency services who tried to save him, he died at the scene. The jury heard that around 20:45 hours, Kay and 2 friends were driving along Pembroke Road in a Mini Countryman when a Land Rover and Peugeot travelling in the opposite direction came into view. The Land Rover deliberately struck the Mini, and it came off the road. The men in the Land Rover jumped out of the vehicle as it was severely damaged. The men in the Peugeot then got out of the car and fired 1 or 2 shotguns at close range at the group in the Mini. Kai was pronounced dead at the scene, while the other passengers in the car suffered minor injuries as they jumped from the car to get away from the attackers. Through a detailed CCTV investigation, detectives were able to trace the men's steps. It was revealed that following the murder, the group hid in a garage belonging to Bradley Reeve, one of those convicted, as they waited for a family member to come and get them. 7 people were charged between March and September 2023. They were later convicted and sentenced as follows. Bradley Reeve, 34, of Chapman Road. Erith was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH and was sentenced to life with a minimum term of 33 years. Enrico Sparhue, 21, of Elmhurst, Belvedere, was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. He was sentenced to life with a minimum term of 29 years. Teosi Bordeaux, 25, of Riverdale Road. Erith was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. Osibadu was sentenced to life with a minimum term of 30 years. Jaylis Selby Gangeya, 19, of Woodfield Close. Erith was convicted of manslaughter. Selby Gangeya was sentenced to 9.5 years. Connor Brooks, 22, of Horser Road. Erith was convicted of manslaughter and was sentenced to 12 years. Charlie Braben, 19, of Byron Drive. Erith was convicted of manslaughter. Braben was sentenced to 9 years. Anthony Walder, 21, was convicted of murder and Section 18 GBH. Walder was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 29 years. Detective Chief Inspector Stephen Payne, who leads one of the Met's specialist major investigation teams, said, "The evidence gathered and presented during the trial left the jury in no doubt that these men were guilty of a sinister plan to kill Kay McGinley. We believe there was a dispute over a drugs deal, and they decided the retribution for Kai should be death."